Hey, do you feel like the world is about to end? Yeah, me too.
It's the end of the world as we know it. The quiet comprehending of the ending of it all.
All they know it's the end of the world.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Hi, it's been a minute. If you're new here, welcome. It's good to meet you. If you're old here, how old are you? Why does it feel like everything is about to end? We have the pandemic, we have war, we have climate change, we have social unrest, we have the rapid technological advances of AI.
My name is Snoop Dogg Hi-Hat.
Honestly, it's kind of overwhelming just picking your favorite. What do I want to worry about most? I don't know, there's so much to choose from. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet of just catastrophes, and my plate is pretty full. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to eat all of this. But if you've been getting that funny feeling that this is the finale of the human show, trust me, you're not alone. Stick around until the end of the video because I promise we will get to the bottom of it. So let's dive into why we have these Armageddon jitters, while also taking a look back at some other times in history that were arguably worse than today. I know, that's hard to believe, but we'll see. So I've got a little story for you guys. I used to work right next to this big clock in New York City. The Doomsday Clock, or the Climate Clock, made its debut during New York's Climate Week in 2020. I'd stroll past that clock and just watch the seconds keep ticking down, day after day after day. As of recording this video, the clock is at 5 years, 265 days, and 30 hours. That's the time we've got to keep global warming in check and limit a 1.5 degrees Celsius, or 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit, increase in global temperature. Otherwise, things are gonna get a little bit toasty. Oh wait, they already have. NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, or GISS, or GISS, recorded the hottest month in the global temperature record. And guess when that month was? Was it the really hot one that happened this summer? Yeah, you're so right. Wow, you're so smart. Good job. It was this past July, 2023. Remember it? Rising global temperatures, wild weather events, sea level rise, and ecological chaos are all on the menu. We're talking ecosystems sliding into the ocean, species on the brink of extinction, and a planet that's just not feeling too hot. Pun intended. Next we have war. War never changes. Except it does, actually. We got Putin's invasion of Ukraine, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the upcoming Chinese debut in Taiwan. I'm excited for that one. And who the knows what North Korea is doing right now? It's like there's conflict happening all across the world or something. It's almost like global. It's almost like a world... War never changes. To see why another global showdown could happen, we gotta dust off those history books. World Wars I and II were like the blockbuster sequels, triggered by political drama, economic rivalries, and good old territorial bickering.
But I am telling you right now,
The Treaty of Versailles
it's not real.
But here's the best part about today. We got nukes, baby. Woo!
I am become nuke destroyer of world.
Here's a list of all the countries that have their own doomsday gadgets. Look at all them. Look at all those countries with little nukes. All it takes is one slip up or one rogue agent and boom. That's the end. That's World War III. And it's not just the boys who are getting drafted this time. Thanks, Biden. AI. Before we get too carried away with doomsday scenarios, let's also look at the other star of the show, Artie Intelligica, or AI for short. Artie Intelligica is like the rock star who is just moving too fast. He's on too many drugs, he's trashing hotel rooms, he's got a fast car, probably like a McLaren or like a Corvette, and he's just on a crazy bender right now. And he's having all these big parties in the Hollywood Hills, and he's not inviting me, and I'm pissed. So AI has kind of gone from those awkward baby steps to being a little bit more intelligent and useful. You've probably heard all these fancy words like natural language processing or NLP, also autonomous decision making. It's kind of like the AI version of the Renaissance. But hold on, now here's a crazy scenario. What if AI becomes smarter than us and decides to wing it solo? It's kind of like giving your cat the car keys.
Toots the driving cat.
AI is out here evolving faster than we can scribble down the rules and regulations, thanks to the majority of Congress in the US not knowing how to export their own Excel spreadsheet. So, who's keeping an eye on all of these AI companies and advancements? Probably not Charles E. Gasly, who's 90.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Another pandemic? Yep, another Disney remake. Now presenting Pandemic 2, Return of the Fauci. Just when we thought we'd had enough of this COVID-19 thing, there's a possibility of a sequel. But here's the plot twist. We're still not going to be prepared. You thought we learned our lesson, but guess what? I bet we didn't. And there's more possibilities this time. We got the possibility of a zoonotic disease, which are the ones that do a little pole vault from animals to humans, and they're really good at hide and seek. And then there's also the issue of antibiotic resistance. It's basically if bacteria got like a superhero upgrade, and we're still working with outdated tech. But hey, we're trying to take notes, and we're trying to build our own little Avengers team to combat them.
We're able to create a two-headed dog with 6 legs. Is it possible that a similar creature existed thousands of years ago?
So, are we living in the worst time in history? I don't know. Maybe. Let's not forget our ancestors' greatest hits like the Black Plague, 2 World Wars, and those little dark ages. So, let's jump to 1349, the year when the Black Death pulled off its legendary act, wiping out about half of Europe's population.
Bring out Jadid!
That's right, folks, we're talking 20 million people. It's safe to say that this year earned its spot on the worst years in history leaderboard. In another corner, we have 1918. It's the grand finale of World War I, and the Spanish flu decided to join not only the Entente powers, but also the Central powers, infecting up to a whopping 100 million people in just under 16 weeks. Talk about speed running. Now here's a fun fact. They actually called it the Spanish flu, thinking that it originated during the war in Europe, but today, some medical historians actually think it came from Haskell County, Kansas, and was brought overseas from US soldiers. Regardless, this year still sucked. Now here's a little thought experiment for everyone. I'm going to pick another random year, 1520. Native Americans were dealing with a pretty tough year too. The Spanish not only brought pretty horses, but also smallpox. This unwanted visitor swept through Native American communities, taking out millions of indigenous tribes. And by the time 1600 rolled around, roughly 90% of the America's population, which was about 55 million strong, were gone. It's safe to say that their historical experience was worse as well. But dear viewer, hold on to your hat. And if you're not wearing a hat, go get one, put it on, and hold on to it. Because 536 has entered the chat. Late December back in 536. This was the year everything went to 536 was a year that needed its own category. It was so terrible, it's giving these other bad years a run for its money. We're talking a league of its own. You know things are about to get a little wild when a medieval history professor at Harvard, Professor McCormick, starts spilling the beans about something. What's he talking about? I don't know. According to McCormick, the year 536 was the precursor to one heck of a roller coaster ride through history. And what started it all? A volcanic eruption in Iceland. Volcano belched out so much ash that it practically threw Europe, the Middle East, and parts of Asia into a never-ending darkness. The nightman has cometh. As the Byzantine historian Procopius put it, Procopius, if you're watching this, I'm sorry I mispronounced your name, the sun was just phoning it in, casting this dim, moonlight glow for a whole year. He even said it felt like the sun was stuck in a perpetual eclipse. Oh, I'm thinking about the Roman Empire again. Cassiodorus, a Roman politician, wrote that the sun turned all bluish, the moon lost its shine, and the seasons just went bonkers. He was probably out there squinting at his non-existent shadow thinking, what the heck is going on? But Wait, I'm not done. Those dark days brought a serious cold snap, with summer temperatures taking a nosedive. This chilly little surprise kickstarted the coldest decade in over 2 millennia. Crops couldn't handle it, and speaking of chilly, everybody got really hungry. Then, a few years later, the bubonic plague crashed the party. Sir, we've just gotten word the bubonic plague has crashed into the party. Bubonic? It made its grand entrance from the Egyptian port of Pelusium and decided to call itself the Plague of Justinian. This deadly act caused up to half the population of the Eastern Roman Empire to wave adieu.
Adieu, adieu, to you and you and you.
You can probably guess what happened next. The empire started to fall. It's kind of hard to run a government when everyone's all sickly. So, a volcanic eruption, no food, and a plague. Europe was basically on a never-ending bad luck streak until around 640, when everyone started to mine silver, starting the Iron Age. But man, did the 6th century suck. And it shows, historically, things have been worse. Sure, the world might end tomorrow, but it probably won't. Us humans have existed for over 300,000 years, and I think it's going to take a whole lot to get rid of us. I guess the point of this video is to provide some historical context to other bad times, and tell you that if you feel like everything sucks, you're not alone. And you have a lot of good reasons to feel that way. The climate crisis is real. War is real. 2020 was real. However, we are alive today. So let me shed some light with a little quote I found. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. And we will always be biased in our belief that today's current events are the worst in history. But every decision that anyone has ever made has led us to this point. And I don't see why our decisions past this point won't positively impact the future. If everybody feels shitty, then it's probably gonna get better. If no one felt shitty, then it'd stay shitty. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a minute. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you did not like this video, consider subscribing. Shout out to all of the boomers and the mega corporations who have ruined the economy for us and the housing market. You guys are the best. You're super cute, and thank you so much. I love you, and we all do. Kiss, kiss. You guys are awesome. I hope sometime maybe we can get some drinks, and I don't know, maybe you can make me pay for it. Okay, bye.